Let's get back to Canberra now. Coles and Woolworths are certainly in the spotlight and are on notice. I want to bring in Bob Katter from Katter's Australia Party now. But we know you had a run-in with one of your colleagues over this issue. Farmers say they're being dudded. Woolworths and Coles are trying to bend over backwards, saying that they're trying to do the right thing by customers. What is the solution here?
Every other country on earth has laws preventing monopoly or oligopolistic behaviour. Australia doesn't. Our laws are a farce. Now, this organisation, Woolworths Coles, I say one organisation, Woolworths Coles, they were on 50.1% in 1991. By 2001, they'd moved up to 70%. Not my figures, the figures of ANOP as put out by Global World and the figures of the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 70%. So they'd gone from 50% to 70%. Now, to say that they suddenly stopped in 2001 would be quite ridiculous. So we know now that they're around about 85% of the market. Even that's allowing for some intrusions by some very good people like Harris Farms and some very bad people like Aldi. No country on earth would allow this. And the result of this is, and I've got 6 items. When they're on 50%, the markup was 109%.
Right.
When they were little boys on 50%, the markup was 109%.
So what have you
when
got
they
there,
became
Bob?
big boys on 70%,
Is that a potato?
when they got big boys at 70%, they had gone to 198% markup.
Yeah.
198% markup. Now, this is the latest. That is a humble potato, the most common food in Australia. On the day that we got this publication, Woolworths price here, $4.50 a kilo. The farmer was being paid for that potato 45 cents.
A kilo.
45 cents on average was his income, and the consumer paid $4.50. That's a markup. It's 100% higher. 1,000% higher. What am I talking about? 1,000% higher than the cost to the farmer. Now, what has happened is 276,000 farmers have left the industry since the National Party's infamous statement by their leader that we only needed 123,000. 276,000 farmers has gone down to 83,000 farmers. My dairy farmers were on 61 cents today before deregulation. Once our protection was taken away, they went to 29 cents, 61 to 29 cents. Now, we had 238 of the biggest dairy farmers in Australia, in North Queensland. We're a very big area. Now we have 38.
So long story short, Bob, sorry to interrupt you, but long story short, it's very unusual for you to team up with the Greens. But is that what you're doing here? You're backing this bill?
No, absolutely not.
So what's going on?
Andrew Wilkie and myself discussed this matter, and now everyone's climbing on the bandwagon. Well, I'm not criticising them. Good on them. And just because the Greens and I disagree on something doesn't mean that we can't agree on something for the better good. I mean, the Liberal and National parties refused to vote against our resolution. That's Andrew Wilkie and myself and Andrew G put the resolution together that they be forced down to 20%. Now, the Prime Minister very foolishly said we're not a communist country. Bad call, Prime Minister. Very bad call. Because they do have a concentration of market power in the USSR, the communist country. America, on the other hand, has trust-busting legislation. Theodore Roosevelt busted Esso, Rockefeller's company, into 32 companies. 32 companies. So what we're saying is they get a maximum 100% markup, not 800% markup on potatoes, arguably 1,000 if you like, but I'll say 800% markup on potatoes. They will have a maximum of 100%. Now, people are struggling. Affordability is used every 10 seconds in that parliament.
Yeah.
What are you doing about it? You're doing absolutely nothing about it. And when we try to do something, well, we're making progress. The Liberals and the National Party, they refused to vote against us. The Greens have joined us. The crossbenchers have joined us. Almost all the Teals have joined us. I mean, Jackie Lambie, Pauline Hanson, everyone agrees except the government. Everyone agrees except
Bob,
the government.
Thanks for bringing this to our attention once again. We love it when you bring vegetables into the studio as well. We'll talk to you again, and I assure you we're not going to let this issue go either. We'll see you soon.